Welcome back, BookTok enthusiasts, to another exciting episode of Dragons and Spaceships, the show where we dive deep into books readers can't stop talking about. I'm your host, Brandi, and today we are getting into a dark, twisty, psychological thriller, The Perfect Marriage by Jeneva Rose. Now, this book has blown up across BookTok for its shocking twists, morally gray characters, and that unforgettable ending. It asks, how well do you really know your spouse? And what happens when the person you trust the most may be your biggest threat? But before we dive into today's thriller, let's balance things out with a cozy fall read BookTok is loving. This week's pick is The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore. It's the start of a Dream Harbor series, and it's got everything you'd want in a cozy seasonal read. Small town vibes, a grumpy local farmer, a sunshiny newcomer trying to restart her life, and of course, a cafe at the center of it all. The story follows Jeannie, who inherits a little cafe and finds herself clashing with Logan, a brooding farmer who'd rather be left alone. Their relationship has that classic grumpy meets sunshine spark, and the town itself is full of charm, gossip, and a few secrets lurking under the cozy surface. It's warm, atmospheric, and honestly, the perfect book to curl up with on a chilly night, pumpkin spice latte in hand. If you're looking for something to balance out your darker, spookier reads this season, this is a sweet, cozy pick that belongs on your fall TBR. Okay. The Perfect Marriage opens with the Morgans, Sarah, a high-powered defense attorney, and Adam, a struggling novelist. On the surface, they are a polished, inevitable couple, but when Adam's mistress is found brutally murdered in their lake house, the world implodes. Adam is accused, and Sarah shocks everyone by defending him in court. Sarah Morgan is one of the most fascinating characters in modern thrillers. Outwardly, she's everything a reader admires. She's confident, brilliant, a woman who has shattered glass ceilings in the legal world. She's respected, intimidating, and known for defending people accused of terrible crimes. But underneath, Sarah is layered with ambition and capacity for darkness. Jeneva Rose plays with our perception of her. We think she's the long-suffering wife sacrificing her reputation to defend her unfaithful husband. But in reality, she's always the one in control. Her intelligence isn't just professional, it's predatory. Adam is almost Sarah's opposite. He's insecure, frustrated, and resentful of Sarah's success. His career as a writer stalled out, leaving him financially and emotionally dependent on her. To reclaim a sense of worth, he falls into an affair with Kelly Summers. Adam's tragedy is that he thinks he is clever enough to play games, but really he's a pawn. His flaws, weakness, vanity, and self-pity make him the perfect fall guy. Readers may feel sympathy for him at times, but Rose makes it clear Adam's poor choices dig his grave even before Sarah seals it shut. Kelly, or Jenna Way, is the quintessential thriller other woman, but with depth. She once stood for trial for her ex-husband's murder and escaped conviction because of missing evidence. She reinvented herself as Kelly Summers, married a cop, and carried on with an affair with Adam. Kelly is ambitious, manipulative, and always walking a dangerous line, but instead of controlling the narrative, she becomes its victim, stabbed 37 times in Sarah's own bed. Whether she's a schemer or a survivor depends on how you read her. But violent death sets the entire machine of Sarah's plan into motion. We can't talk characters without mentioning Bob, Sarah's colleague and eventual co-conspirator. He's not just a sidekick. He's instrumental in the frame job. Bob's loyalty and his own family tie to Kelly's murdered ex-husband make him the perfect accomplice. Bob also highlights how Sarah manipulates everyone around her. She doesn't just outwit her enemies, she turns allies into pawns, binding them to her through shared guilt. Much of the novel plays out in the courtroom where Sarah appears to fight tooth and nail for Adam. Rose fills these scenes with misdirection. Scott, Kelly's cop husband, is painted as abusive. Jesse Hook, a supposed stalker, is introduced. Even Adam's assistant Annie and the sheriff look suspicious. The brilliance here is that Sarah's defense feels authentic to us as readers. We believe she's working for Adam's freedom. Only later do we realize every move is a part of her larger deception. Let's talk about some themes in this book that cut deep. We have power and gender. Sarah inverts traditional marriage roles. She is dominant, Adam is dependent. But the novel asks, what happens when dominance becomes destructive? Deception as survival. Everyone is lying. Adam about his affair, Kelly about her past, Sarah about everything. Truth becomes impossible to pin down. Then we have justice versus revenge. Sarah's courtroom is a stage, but her true goal isn't justice, it's vengeance. Adam is convicted and sentenced to death. For a decade, he rots on death row, clinging to the belief that Sarah once loved him. And then in a gut punch twist, the truth comes out. Sarah orchestrated everything. She killed Kelly, framed Adam, and used her brilliance to make sure no suspicion ever landed on her. Her confession to the reader is chilling. Not only did she murder Kelly, but she once killed her own mother and staged it as an overdose. Sarah isn't a victim or even just an anti-hero. She's a predator and she wins. What makes The Perfect Marriage such a BookTok sensation is that it breaks the rules of genre. We're used to the husband being the villain, the wife being the victim, and the courtroom delivering justice. Here, justice fails spectacularly. Sarah is brilliant, terrifying, and unforgettable. Adam is tragic in weakness. Kelly is both guilty and innocent at the same time. And by the end, readers are left shaken because the most dangerous person wasn't the cheating husband or the manipulative mistress, but the woman who smiled, went to court, and played the long game perfectly. And speaking of stories that make your pulse race, let's switch gears from courtroom twists to haunted forests. The Haunting of Payne's Hollow by Kelly Armstrong. It's officially releasing on October 14th, 2025. The setup, Samantha Payne's grandfather dies, leaving her the family lakefront cottage, but with a catch. She must stay there for a month to inherit it. She hasn't seen her grandfather in years, ever since her father's suicide and horrifying act she witnessed as a child. Sam once caught him burying a child's body. At the cottage, Sam's childhood memories and suppressed guilt resurface. Her aunt vanishes, cries echo through the forest, shadows crawl by the water. Is the horror supernatural, or is this someone pulling strings? If you're into haunted houses, family secrets, and psychological terror that doesn't let you relax even when the lights are on, Payne's Hollow should absolutely be on your radar. Pre-order now, because once October is here, this is one of those titles you'll want to devour under a blanket with the lights low and every creak echoing in the room. Today's listener question is someone who wrote in about our Powerless episode. They asked, do you think Payton's lack of powers actually make her stronger than the elites? I love this question, and honestly, yes, Payton's strength comes from the fact that she survives in a world designed to crush her. While the elites rely on their powers, she has to rely on wit, quick thinking, and strategy. That adaptability makes her unpredictable, which is why she manages to outmaneuver people who should, on paper, be far stronger than she is. It's also why her dynamic with Kai is so compelling. He's trained to see power as everything, but she forces him to recognize that resilience and cunning can be just as dangerous as magic. And that wraps up today's episode of Dragons and Spaceships. We unraveled the lies and power plays of The Perfect Marriage, a story that proves sometimes the scariest villains aren't hiding in the shadows, but sitting across the dinner table. Whether it's a haunted hollow or a marriage with deadly secrets, remember, the scariest stories are the ones closest to home. If you've read it, I'd love to know. Did you suspect Sarah from the start, or were you blindsided by that final twist? Share your thoughts with us on social media, and maybe you'll hear your question featured in a future episode. Until next time, happy reading, stay curious, and may your TBR pile never stop growing.